When we take the meditation posture, we're developing an attitude of attentive openness to whatever arises. And this is actually a very brave thing to do, to just sit, open our minds, open our whole being with attentive openness to whatever might arise. Because in so doing, we are actually opening ourselves beyond our usual, habitual view of ourself and of reality. We actually don't know what we're going to see. And one of the first things that one gradually begins to perceive is that perhaps we aren't quite who we thought we were, because maybe we thought we were kind, and we see that we have a lot of aggressive and downright mean thoughts. Maybe we thought that we were quite a spiritual person, perhaps, and we find that we obsess for hours about all the things we want and crave and desire and things that would make us feel so good. And we sit and we just look with openness, as much openness as we can. And in so doing, we're opening ourselves to letting go, or seeing through, or at least seeing exactly who we are and what we do. We're setting ourselves up, you could say, for some of the ways, and eventually all of the ways in which we conventionally and habitually view reality, to let those fall apart. So it's very brave. And this path is considered the path of the brave ones. Begin to cultivate our fearlessness, cultivate our wish to move from narrow to open, to move from holding on to things very rigidly to a more flexible, adaptable, open stance way of looking at things. What happens on the journey, which is that every once in a while you completely come to your edge. You come to the place where you know you're about to make a step into what is as yet not quite known to you. You're just about to sort of step over the edge. This happens again and again on the spiritual journey, that we meet this place of just going a little further than we ever have before in terms of how we perceive reality. It's basically going from being so dedicated and so habitually committed to a static way of perceiving and thinking to a fluid, open way of perceiving and thinking. But when we come to that edge, it brings up all of our fear. Part of the spiritual journey is coming to know the nature of fear, because you can't just move from a very narrow and rigid way of perceiving and thinking into an open way of thinking. You can't just drop all of those old comforting conditionings and concepts without it being accompanied by some fear and trembling. So I said that the journey is one from narrowness to openness. You could also say it's a journey of moving from fear to fearlessness. In case you think there's something wrong with feeling fear, you should know that the definition of a fully enlightened being is one who is completely fearless. As we travel on the path, we get to know fear. We get to know the nature of fear. And gradually we become much more adaptable and much more able to stay open and attentive to whatever might arise. Another definition of a fully awakened person is someone who stays open to their emotions and thoughts and people and anything that might arise without centralizing into a self or centralizing back into themselves, just reaching out, opening out. So we move in that direction, but we don't have any big expectations of what time of day or what month or year we're supposed to arrive. In fact, the path is the goal.